Alright, so I know you're all familiar with the P. Diddy case and the crazy, atrocious crimes he's committed against humanity. Well, it turns out we have a new update on the case, and the pending charges against him are just gonna slip through his butt cheeks like the lubed up ghost at his freak-off party.
Count 1, as it relates to racketeering, not guilty. Count 2, as it relates to sex trafficking, not guilty. Count 3, guilty. Count 4, not guilty. Count 5, guilty. Now, we should bring up here, Misty, all of these counts have a range of different sentences, a range of different evidentiary burdens, a range of different outcomes we could have had here, but it is a mixed verdict, if you will.
And for the people who are hoping the US justice system finally does its own due diligence this time, well, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. P. Diddy managed to slip through 3 of the 5 charges pending against him. And the 2 charges he was found guilty of, let's just be honest, he's probably not going to get the maximum sentence on it. He dodged 2 nuclear bombs and got hit with water balloons.
It's a mixed verdict, but it is a stunning victory for the defense. The Mann Act, these charges, these were the easiest for prosecutors to prove, the lowest hanging fruit, merely required showing that state lines were crossed for the purpose to engage in prostitution. We saw a lot of evidence on these charges. Did not have that element, Laura, of force, fraud, or coercion.
So the 2 charges he was convicted on was a violations of the Mann Act, basically taking someone across state lines to engage in prostitution, and each charge carries a maximum of 10 years. But let's be completely honest here. P. Diddy, he's got all the resources he needs at his disposal. He could reduce that sentence down to nothing if he really wanted to. And if you dare to defy him or stop him from doing that, well, I hope you the best of luck. And you might get excited to see the word maximum, but let's be honest here, celebrities and rich billionaires like this, they really get the sentence they deserve. So he's probably going to end up a little bit better off than your average high school weed dealer. Despite over mountains of evidence, years of allegation, and numerous testimonies from witnesses and people, and yet we still couldn't convict him guilty on the more serious charges. And we even had his lawyer quit literally mid-case. He literally quit mid-case and said, oh, I can't help this man anymore. When your own legal team taps out, that's gotta say something. And even without his legal team, he still managed to slip through 3 of the 5 most serious charges. If that doesn't destroy your faith in the legal system, I really don't know what does at this point.
And this carries the lightest sentence of these charges. It is a maximum of 10 years. And keep in mind, when you're talking about maximums, maximums aren't the rule. They are the exception. They're for the most exceptional and severe cases. So now you're talking about a sentence that's potentially in the lower range with time served because he's been behind bars. The fact that these sex trafficking charges, specifically with respect to Cassie Ventura, means that the jury was convinced by the defense, at least with respect to reasonable doubt, that the commercial sex, i.e. the freak-offs, were not connected to some of this violence, that there was not that force, fraud, or coercion element. That is by far, from a penalty perspective, the most serious. It carried a 15-year minimum. So that is a huge distinction.
This is a decisive victory for P. Diddy and his legal team. I'm sorry, he doesn't even have a legal team at this point. For P. Diddy and the judge and the jury, because I don't know what the jury was thinking and going through when they were going through all that evidence, and they still couldn't reach the conclusion that this man is guilty. This is like the equivalent of Donald Trump making it to the presidential office despite 4 indictments, 91 charges, numerous civil lawsuits, sexual abuse charges, numerous bankruptcy filings, and even storming the Capitol, which is basically a treason charge. At this point, if this doesn't destroy your faith in the legal system, I don't know what does at this point. And the same can be said for a lot of other billionaires. For example, Jeffrey Epstein, who got a sweetheart deal back in 2008 and spent most of his sentence in his mega mansion under work release. And then he was finally arrested when public pressure hit a boiling point, and then he died under quote-unquote mysterious circumstance in custody. Same thing can be said by O.J. Simpson, who was acquainted of double homicide. He lost a civil lawsuit, but how long did he stay rich, famous, and invited to events before people start to actually care? And when I say rich people, the rich and famous don't face consequences, I really mean it. The same thing could be said for the United Healthcare CEO, who went years under the radar doing fraudulent and illegal activity in the healthcare industry. He literally took health insurance away from people on the brink of their death, denying their health insurance claim, denying payment to their families. It wasn't up until a guy named Mario assassinated him and finally laid justice upon this evil man. This has proved that us as a society, us as people and citizens, we gotta take justice into our own hands. We can't be reliant. We can't be trusting of the justice system at this point. This is the blueprint of America. For those of you who are watching from other countries around the world, you might think America is just like land of the free. I mean, it is. I won't get it. It is the best country in the world, but there are a lot of problems with this country. And the legal system is definitely one of it. And trust me, I've been poor before, I've been middle class, and now I'm a lot better off than I used to. And I can tell you, people treat me a lot differently compared when I had no money at all. And when you say the rich do get prince or slash princess treatment, they really mean it. Now, I don't know what the judge was thinking. I don't know what the jury was thinking. Hey, maybe P. Diddy secretly invited them to a freak-off show after he beat his case. You know, maybe he slid something under the table. You know how the bullshit goes. And since he's been locked up for 10 months already, they're probably gonna give him less than the actual sentencing. And for the people who did went up against him and pray for his downfall, I pray for you guys. I pray for your safety. Like, you guys gotta start watching out for your backs. You know, maybe tighten up your security or move out of the country, because once P. Diddy's free, he's coming after you guys. This is a dangerous man. This is a menace to society walking amongst us. And this just proves that if you're rich enough, if you have enough power, if enough influence, anything can go under the table for you. You can just stack crimes like Pokemon cards and still be able to walk free, as long as you know how to play your cards right. If the verdict of this case made your blood boil, just letting you know, you are not alone. A majority of the population are in the same boat. It's only that minority of the population, that weird and crazy people, that are actually applauding the verdict of this case. I want to know what you guys think about the outcome of this case, so drop your thoughts in the comment section down below. Like this video if you're tired of Billionaire getting away with criminal activities like this, and subscribe if you haven't already. You know the drill. And as always, stay safe out there and sleep on your backs, because the P. Diddy Freakout Squad might be on parole soon.